Welcome to Turn to Your Neighbor. This is the show where we have problems out the gate. What happened?
I love it. What up, neighbor?
It said, okay. I think
9 o'clock, and we back in the air. We're live. We're here.
All right. All right. I'm sorry, neighbors, because what happened was I go to put us on a screen, and the software is giving me messages about stuff not being found. So me without
instantly,
me without even reading, it says not found. I'm like, oh, what's going on? But we still on here, so it's all good.
I was lost, but yet now I'm found.
I'm found.
That's a message.
What a way to open the show. But in case you're just tuning in, this is the show where we talk about Christian culture. We talk about the church, social media, movies, TV, music, and a whole lot more. My name is Cliff, and this is Big Dre. What's up, man?
What up, baby? What up, neighbors? Neighbors. Good to see y'all. Can I start with a mini rant? I got just two quick things to say. It's real quick. I'm going to be in and out real quick.
I'm going to be in and out. I won't be before you. Famous preacher last words. I won't be before you long.
I will be before you long. Neighbors, I love y'all. We're going to have to work on how we spell the neighbors. I got things happening in there that is not even spelled correctly. We had an N-A-Y-B-R-E. Like, I need us to get together with Hooked on Phonics and work that out. Number two, my neighbors, I love y'all. If we ain't going to do a show, we promise y'all that we are going to send a message out. Let me tell you this. You know how we work. We come at 9-ish o'clock. So if you don't see us at the stroke of 9 and you start hitting us with messages talking about you coming on the air, Angela, if you start hitting us with messages talking about you coming on the air, it's either you want us to text you an answer or you want us to get the show on the air. Text the answer or get the show on the air. It can't be both.
Which one you want?
It can't be both. Which one you want? 9-ish o'clock. Just keep that time free. From 9 forward, just keep it free, and we're going to get to you eventually, unless we say otherwise.
Sometimes.
Love y'all, though.
Sometimes other forces beyond our control, technical issues, kids, different things happen.
Yeah.
That delay the start of the show. That's all I'm saying.
He was definitely in the building. How's that brother doing? He wanted to be on the air tonight. He saw me on his computer screen
really?
and ran away. I was like, what up? What up, baby? He goes,
yeah, man.
Man.
The struggle is real.
Real. That's all I've got to say.
All right, what's up to all the neighbors? We have a very entertaining and fun show for you tonight.
Yo, I went and rewatched last week, and my face when you pulled out Missionary Banks was pretty shocked.
Bruh, Missionary Banks was funny. You say what you want. It was funny. I don't care.
It was funny. I was just shocked even going back and watching it.
I will, knock on wood, die on that hill. That was a funny bit. I'm not going to lie.
Missionary Banks, she brought her talents before the Lord and before the church.
Exactly.
And that's all I have to say.
I will die on that hill. That was funny.
We going to move forward before we get in trouble again.
Hey, I'm saying it was funny. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, all right. So, we're going to get to the first story. Check this out. So, this church in Texas, they offered free weddings to dozens of couples who were previously cohabitating, or as the old mother say, shacking. So, all these couples were shacking, and this church said, this ain't right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to pay all expenses paid by the church for y'all to get married and do it God's way.
Okay.
Concord Church in Dallas. Hooked this up. So all these people right here, as you can see, all these couples at one time paid by the church. Y'all can stop shacking now.
I got questions already. Are you playing something? Because I got questions.
No, this is it.
Okay. I have questions already. Okay. So what exactly was paid for? Were they just paying for the wedding, or were they putting it on the reception afterwards?
Well, I'm assuming, since this is the church, I'm assuming that, in the multi-purpose room, they had a group reception probably.
Let's talk about that.
There's probably one long table, all the because you don't have a wedding party. It's just you and your bride, you and your groom, and that's it. So they probably had a huge thing in the multi-purpose room.
Because it looks like a mega church, just judging from the size of the stage there. So it looks like a mega church.
And mega churches have multi-purpose buildings.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So we're going to take this to the multi-purpose building.
This is the type of church that has an entire, like, they don't have, like, the food ministry. They have a catering ministry. Like, they got at least 20 people lined up to help you put out some chicken and some biscuits afterwards. I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this. It cut down. Here's another question, though. Did you actually have to show the marriage license beforehand? Because I know people, I'm just going to talk about my people. I know black people who will say, have been saying for years, the marriage license costs too much money, so I can't do this. Hey, don't use that lie. It's a lie from the pit of hell. The license don't cost me so much. I think it's less than $100. Anyway. But that's just my questions that I had. Who exactly was paying for what? Are they doing premarital counseling? That's actually a solid question. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I was going to say the church has been doing this since 2009. And since then, over 60 couples have been participating in this. Not just these people we see here. They have done it previously. And
I'd like to know the retention rates on these marriages. I'd like to know the retention rates on these marriages. How long are they staying together? Are they staying together? Are they still cohabitating? I can feel what the church is trying to do here, but unless a lot of the support structure is being put into this, I don't see how this is all going to work. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, this Sunday in question, 30 people made their commitment. And each time, according to the article, each time the church does this, it costs about $8,000 for them to get it all together.
$8,000?
So
for what?
Well, you got to pay for dresses and
Wait, so
and tuxedos.
They're paying for
the church pays for everything. The church is paying for everything. Oh. So they probably pay for the marriage license as well. But the church is paying for everything. So all you got to do is show up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is a deal. This is a deal. I would have done it. Let's do it. I think this is a good look. That's a lot of people, and I see nothing wrong with it.
So yeah, shout out to Pastor. Last name is Carter and his wife at the Concord Church in Dallas for hooking us up. I'm just saying I'm just surprised that because women are real picky about their weddings, and.
Yeah.
And for a woman who's willing to share her wedding day with 29 other women, that's something.
I think these individuals, particularly though, were already at a place where they weren't.
They were like,
they wasn't really ever gonna get married. They were like, I think these people were probably I'm gonna say probably about 5 years in living together. Probably more than that. Probably some of them may have been 6, 7, maybe double digits. Living together, and so this was just a win overall. So I think they was willing to rack that up.
Hey.
It did cut down. Like there's one person. I have so many questions. Do they walk down the aisle, or do they have a moment where they each read their own vows to one another? Whose little nephew or bad behind little godson walks down throwing down the pedals down the aisle? Which one of the bad little kids doesn't actually want to walk down the aisle and they act a hot mess in the front? I guess if we avoid all that, I guess it works.
So I went to a church where they did mass christenings, and I'm assuming it happened like this. The christening was like, we doing christenings today. Whoever want to get christened, come up.
Right.
So this is probably how the wedding went. We doing a wedding. If you got a dress on, just come to the front. Come to the front to be married. That's about it.
Well, if they could work out a deal with David's Bridal and everybody can catch something on the low on a discount. And now here's also the question. I might get in trouble for this one. Sometimes, how do I say this without getting in trouble? Sometimes there are brides who decide to wear particular garments that maybe the Lord had not blessed them to be wearing.
So you saying brides are wearing dresses that their body that the Lord did not give them the body.
Guess what I
So
didn't
so
say.
so
any,
the so
any of what you just said.
So but you know why you say it with your chest? You saying
no.
So you saying Jesus and Vera Wang did not have a meeting?
Guess what I didn't say.
Is that what you said? Okay.
You
Fine.
once again are trying to get me down the path.
I'm not trying to get you out.
I'm just you got me in trouble last week.
You didn't get it.
Got me in trouble.
How did you get in trouble? You didn't get in trouble. Stop it.
Hey, because I can't say that on the air.
Okay.
But,
anyway.
Hey, but yes.
But
so all I'm saying is, I wonder if the church has some rules like, hey, baby, nah, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a question. It's just a question that I have. Everybody shouldn't be strapless. No, yes. Some people need to be strapped all the way in. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Maybe double strap.
Okay.
I'm gonna just put that out there. But it's just a thought. It's just a thought that I had.
Yeah. I'm still surprised that these women, 30 women, willingly shared their wedding day with a bunch of other women. I'm surprised, judging by the way the photographer took our pictures, I'm surprised my wife shared our wedding day with me. It's like 30 pictures of her by herself. It's like one of me by myself, and it was a bad picture.
Bruh, don't get me started.
Like, was I even there?
Don't get me started on the wedding photo, dog. Don't get me started on that. Bro, I was hungry. I was so hungry.
Photographers be
I was like, it was hot outside. I was looking good that day, but the heat was melting me. I made a chocolate. I just can't be outside all the time, the whole day. And I know they were holding me up. I was trying to eat. I'm trying to catch a grub. I had a nice DJ. I had an open bar. I wanted to get to some things. Let some things be some things.
I see.
But okay, I'm sorry. But go ahead.
All right, so yeah. Congratulations to these 30 people that tied the knot. Hold on to God's unchanging hand.
Mazel tov. Can we say that on here? Mazel tov. And blessings upon your marriage.
So yeah. All right. So this next one, I'm going to play this next video. I'm not even going to say it. You tell me where. No, this is from America. You tell me what. Okay. You can pretty much figure out where this is from. But I'm going to play it. You just tell me where this is from. Don't them jumpsuits look familiar?
I know where it's
from. Tell the people who might not know.
So obviously this is Kanye's Sunday service. As you can tell from the cult-like attire that he's wearing. What is he doing? What is he doing?
They got a children's choir. They got a children's choir.
Okay, go ahead. Express what you want to express, because it got me upset.
They got a children's choir. Church of God in Christ calls this the Sunshine Band. The Sunshine Band. Yeah, so Sunshine Band is from like 0 to 7. Like if you could stand up, you don't even gotta be able to talk, but if you could stand up, you in the Sunshine Band. So this is the Sunshine Band.
Okay. I just have I don't have questions. It's just making me angry. Like, here's the thing, right? I would almost want to think Kanye is trying to send us a message through the clothes, right?
Oh, no.
Saying, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. You just come to service. The problem is, this son of a gun is going to charge you that outfit going to cost about $200. That outfit going to cost about $200 for the kids. It's going to cost about $400 for the grown folk. And so,
go ahead.
I don't understand. He's irking my nerves. You remember the video we played when at Coachella, he was selling socks that said church on them. Yeah. Therefore, making them church socks. And he was charging about $80 a pop. It's making me angry, and it's making me worried. Like, what is on their feet? They're all wearing the same thing on their feet. This is a cult. Like, I don't understand what you expect me to say.
Angela said they look like refugees.
Okay, first of all, nope, we're not doing that today. Because unfortunately, most of the refugees out there nowadays look like you and me. So guess what? I'm not doing that today with y'all.
I almost want to say, baby,
no,
baby,
don't say it then.
Blink twice if you're being held against your will.
Bruh, if David Koresh was running this, they would have got these kids up out of there by now.
Oh man,
Kanye's getting this is black privilege. The only reason these services still get to go on is because as a black person, white people usually get arrested for this, and the FBI would have broken in there by now and called a cult and shut that whole thing down. Oh my God! Did you hear what they named their child?
Psalm.
Jesus!
Psalm.
I'm trying.
I mean, there's worse names. At least it's the nice biblical name.
I can't.
There's worse names. So clearly Kanye is out here still doing his thing about Sunday services. So Kirk Franklin was recently on Beats One Radio with DJ Ebo, right? And the topic of Kanye came up. And so here's what Kirk Franklin had to say about Kanye and Sunday services and the whole deal.
They're going to knock us off the air again.
When I saw Kanye doing Sunday service, I immediately thought of you. I'm happy, and one thing I saw when he was doing Sunday service, and I said, listen, the oppressor may have his mind, but the ancestors got his spirit.
Let that be his medicine. He ain't making no loot doing it.
Nah, he's doing it for love.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know,
long live love.
Yeah, long live love. You know, and so you could always tell intent by how people spend their money.
Yeah.
How people spend their money is a reflection of their heart.
That's
and
right.
so,
That's
so
Bible.
the fact that this is something that he's doing on his own, let that be his medicine. Let's let people heal. I think at people's core, everybody's just looking to be healed inside because we all come in with childhood trauma. You know, and
somebody said we got cut again.
PTSD already.
From growing up, from just walking to school.
Straight out the womb.
When I saw Kanye doing Sunday service.
We still here. Okay. I don't trust Kirk Franklin no more from last week.
Oh.
They knocked us off the air last week. So I actually listened. This is like a 7-minute clip in which he's discussing Kanye and his relationship with Kanye. I'm sorry. The neighbors caught me off guard.
See, this is what happens when you look at the chat. This is what happens when you watch the chat too much.
I can't look at the chat while I'm trying to talk.
Gotta say, shut up, Kurt.
Somebody, she gonna say, why does Kurt look like he's suffering an allergy attack?
They are going,
and that's the way to put it.
In
Kirk has been looking puffed up for about 2-3 years now, and I didn't know what it was. And that's the way it is. It has to be plastic surgeons. Are we not going to talk about this? Are we not going to talk about Kurt and has not looked like silver and gold Kurt for at least 4 years now? There's nothing about his face that says silver and gold no more. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
That's
Lord Jesus.
I just want to put that out there. Like, they brought it up. I didn't say it first.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
This is not silver and gold Kurt. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We're going to get cut off the air. No, we never going to.
So Kirk was talking about how, those Sunday services are Kanye's medicine, right?
Yep. And he was talking about how Kanye
he ain't making no money.
Right.
So you see, Kirk Franklin ain't got a problem with it. Neither should we.
It was interesting. He was talking about how him and Kurt have actually been friends, and Kurt and Kanye have actually been friends. And Kanye actually reached out to Kirk years ago.
Yeah. Like
years ago, talking about he wanted to be involved with gospel. Like before MAGA, before everything.
Yep.
And him and Kirk actually have a relationship. And it's interesting that we're going to try to put this clip up somewhere. We'll put the link on our, let me drive some traffic to the page. We're going to put the link on our Turn to Your Neighbor page. Don't go there now. We'll do it later. But it's like a 7-minute clip that talks about Kurt and Kanye's relationship and how Kanye said he wanted to be involved with gospel. And Kirk was like, yo, just not right now.
Yeah.
Because he was hot in the streets. He had a lot of music coming out. But he's like, I don't want people to say you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And Kanye even went so far just to offer Kirk just hot beats. He's like, yo, I'll just give you my music and you can just put gospel on it. Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting. It's interesting, their relationship. And hey, man, who am I to judge? I will judge every week. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm a judge. But if this is what Kanye's medicine is, and I just don't want him to jump in the front of anything. I'm about to get real serious here.
Jump in front of what?
The church, like you're not a leader. You're not a leader of anybody's church. You need healing. You're not leading.
But he's not starting the church. They just having worship services. They just singing. They just singing and praying.
The man talking about starting his own church. Like they're honestly looking into that.
If we all the way real, you could do a lot worse as far as a pastor than Kanye West. Like, let's be real.
Why would we want that to be the
I'm just
marker?
saying. You
know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
I'm not going to rant on it because it's actually a real thing. Like, I think we have too many people who want to jump in front of a church and be a leader and try to lead other people when they're not ready to lead. They need to be led for a while and before they can jump into something. Just because you are charismatic does not mean that you should be running somebody's church or leading somebody else. If that was the case, I'd go start a church right now and take good offerings and give you words with stuff. But that's not the position that anybody should be jumping in front of a church. Like, no, he shouldn't be nobody's lead or nothing. He can lead musical ministry. He can lead praise and worship, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Or just be a special contributor.
I got no issues. If Kanye decides to start a church, I got no issues because I don't have to go. I have a choice. So if you don't like it, you just don't go.
That's jacked up.
So you can start all the churches you want, just like churches now. There's churches that I choose not to go. Like, I'm not going to this
You're
church.
Right, but then we end up. But then there is. I know we make fun of church hurt, but then there is real legitimate things by people just. They're not leading. They're not built to lead. Or they're not ready to lead, and so they end up making mistakes that are damaging folks. And so I don't know. I'm off my soapbox.
It's a church for everybody. It's churches and bars. It's churches. So I mean, hey, let him do his thing. If it fails, it fails.
What? No, that's not.
I
can't. I'm done with you.
If it fails,
I'm
it
done
fails.
with you. I'm
if
done.
It fails, it fails. Like, the rest of us should just keep doing our thing. You find a church that works for you. If Kanye wants to start a church, let him start one. If it fails, it fails. I don't wish it to fail if he sincerely starts one. But if it fails, it fails.
But then somebody has to come up and clean up those broken pieces that may be created from that. You understand what I'm saying?
What do you think? Okay, anybody who's going to a Kanye church, what do you think they was before the church? I'm not saying they broke it. I'm just saying it's not like. I mean, man, just just let it be. As they say in Central Pennsylvania, left it be.
Left it be.
Left it be. Let him do his thing.
Oh my goodness, that got way too deep.
I am not offended in any way about whatever Kanye West is doing. Like, I'm not offended at all, and I'm not sure why any of us should be.
I'm not offended by it. It gives me pause. It definitely gives me pause. I'll put it that way.
All right. So, speaking... Go ahead.
Annie just walked in. Annie, he's tripping again. Go ahead. Now you can go ahead.
I'm not tripping. So, speaking of churches, check this out. This Vision Church in Atlanta hired this woman, and her name is LaCara Foster. She is a medium, a psychic medium, and they had added her to their staff. So, this woman, psychic medium, she has been added to this church's staff.
Okay.
You got any thoughts about that? Now she is credentialed. She has a doctor of ministry from Interdenominational Theological Center. Mm-hmm. And they now she's a licensed minister at the Vision Church of Atlanta.
Wait, Vision as in... No. That's not what's his name's church, McDowell or no? Okay.
No, that's not William Murphy.
No, yeah, it's not William Murphy.
No.
Okay.
William Murphy's Dream Center.
Okay, dreams and visions. Same thing. What type of church was that? What type of church? Yeah, is it supposed to be a Christian church?
It's supposed to be a Christian church, yes.
Okay. See, this is it's real interesting, man. It's real interesting. There are people who I love who will give you will have real conversations with you about mystics and how very close what they do is to much of what the spiritualism of the church is, and spiritualism is not a word, don't use it. But it's and how we talk about the Holy Spirit, and they would talk about how the mystics are related. This is a very, I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Her something about her necklace and her gap is throwing me off. That's what's really throwing me off about her. But
you always,
it is
with the wardrobe. You always with the wardrobe.
Like if that's gonna be your promo picture, get it together.
It was just a picture off the site, the website that ran the article. That probably
like she got some bottle openers around
not,
the neck.
That's
like,
probably
what
not
is
her
she
picture.
wearing?
Oh, good Lord! Come on.
But,
you better leave her alone before she talks to your dead ancestors and be finding out stuff about you.
Yo, I have real questions, so I would like them to know. I would like them, like, I got questions. Me and my sister talk about that all the time. Anyway, I can't, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think?
So when you think about it, if you're thinking about people who have quote unquote crossed over, and so
right.
If you in heaven,
right,
would you want to wait? Would you spend your time in paradise chilling with Jesus, or would you be talking to somebody like her? Like, you know, I'm sorry, I love my family, but if I'm in paradise,
right,
let me go see what paradise talk about.
Right.
I ain't got time to be messing with. I'll catch y'all when y'all get here. Like they gonna see, she gonna say the same thing. Don't worry about the money. You know, South Park did a whole episode on this, on how.
now we're bringing in South Park.
They did a whole episode of this crossing over stuff. I'm not saying it's real or fake. I'm just saying that when I go, I'm not so sure I'm be spending my time looking for mediums to talk to. I may just be hanging out in paradise and see what Jesus is talking about. That's all.
Straight chilling. Yeah, if you try to call me when I reach the pearly gates, you try to get somebody to bother me, you're going to catch a busy signal player. Or you're going to catch my voicemail, my spiritual voicemail, I'll tell you that. Hey, man, I don't even know what to say. What? I don't know. I don't think I would. I'm not at the point yet. I try to be open-minded about a lot of things. I'm not at the point yet where I'll be like, yeah, this is cool. I would have to hear them explain it, but even if I heard them explain it, it's not like I'm going to go engage her ministry. I tell you, what do they do? Do they bring her out on the stage?
Sunday? That's so funny. That's what I wonder. You got like this one dude giving you a word from God, and she giving you a word from grandma. Like, like how's this going? Like, are they stopping in the middle of service because she got a word from your Aunt Lucy? Wait, Aunt Lucy want me to say something to you. Like, what?
Does she have like a weekly section? Like you have like welcoming the guests and visitors, sick and shut in announcements, and now it's time for the medium. This week, Sister Bernice, we have a word for you.
I don't know.
From dead Uncle Ronnie. Like I don't know how that works. Do you have to sit down with her and ask her, like, hey, do you set up appointments with her like it's counseling?
I don't know.
You try to meet with the pastor? Do you sit down and say, hey, I'd just like to talk to some people? I don't think, nah, I'm good, homie.
I'm not saying her gift is not legitimate. I'm just saying.
Right.
My man Richard said she might have a connection to the wrong side.
It's a solid point. Because call Jesus? Is she talking to Moses?
If you ever seen these shows, these people who've crossed over, nobody is like, yo, it's hot as around here.
Blazing.
It's mad, son. It's mad hot. Like,
that's a good point. We assume everybody you want to talk to went to heaven. Not everybody made it there. That's a valid point.
Like, so I guess only people in heaven got time to be talking to mediums. People who in hell is like just trying to keep their flesh on the bone.
So if you go to her and say, hey, I need you to reach out to somebody for me, Did she go into her little seance and her little trance and come back and say, "Hey, player, I'm sorry to tell you, they in hell." Did they hit you with that? And do I get my money back if they tell me the person I'm trying to reach out to went to hell? That's my question. Are they charging? Is she charging by the hour? What's the structure? I have more questions. Yeah. I don't think I'm on board at all here. Yeah. I'm not on board.
If we believe that this whole medium thing is real, there's so many unsolved mysteries that only the dead person who was killed can answer. Right. So why are we not solving some of these mysteries with these mediums?
Let me ask you about this. What exactly is she supposed to contribute to my spiritual walk?
I don't know. I really want.
These are questions that just hit me.
I really want to know how they roll her out in the service. Like what is her role in the service?
Yes. What does she do? Hey man, this is somebody's side chick, dog. Oh, I said that.
Stop it. Yes, you did.
That did come out.
Oh my God.
My bad. I think a lot of things that I never say, that one didn't mean to come out.
I don't even. And we're gonna move on.
I'm done. This is definitely somebody's side chick.
No, she not. No, this sister has a degree from a theological. Like she has a whole doctorate. So I'm sure she is qualified in scripture and the word. I just don't understand.
Qualified in something.
I just don't understand how her gift of being a medium fits in service. But you know, that's a whole nother thing.
Well, she has a gifting that made her fit in. That's all I have to say.
Stop it.
I'm done.
Oh, that's just
that's just some things I thought there. Yeah, that's a good question. Who asked for this? I need to know the meeting that they sat down with the elders and they said, "Hey, so this is what we're gonna do. We want to bring on the medium, and we think we should start cutting checks to her." What? And how did that get past all the church mothers? Yeah. I need to know exactly how those meetings went. Did the congregation get to vote on this? Congregation, it had to be in the bylaws. The bylaws say they got to vote on a new position. I got questions.
She's not just a member. She on staff.
She's catching a check.
Yeah.
A check. You know why? Such it. Okay.
Okay, so there's this very well-known pastor, Kenneth Copeland. Don't know if you ever heard of him. He recently had some comments about. He's known for being a very wealthy preacher, and he dabbles in the prosperity gospel. And
why'd you make his prosperity gospel song the Black Arts? He dabbles in the prosperity gospel.
Some people think it's the dark arts.
Sounds like it was something out of Harry Potter.
So he recently had some comments about not flying on commercial planes because of the spirits that dwell, the spirit of the people that dwell on commercial planes. So like his premise was he don't do commercial airlines. So Inside Edition flagged him down and had a conversation with him. Check this out.
Why have you said that you won't fly commercial? You said that it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons. Why do you think that?
No, listen to me just a second. Not the people. The main reason is because of the need. If I flew commercial, I'd have to stop 65% of what I'm doing. That's really the main.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but...
Isn't it the business of your donors? Let me just ask you a really simple question. A lot of people think it's unbecoming for a preacher to live a life of luxury and to fly around in private jets. What's your response to that?
Very simple. It takes a lot of money to do what we do. We have brought over 100, let's see, the latest figures just came out, 122 million people to the Lord Jesus
Look at
Christ.
that, 122
Again, getting
million.
back to the comment. You said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Oh, sir.
We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Can you explain what you meant by that term then? Just explain, because it's really simple. You said you didn't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. What did you mean?
Well, let me ask you.
Do you think that people that fly commercial are demons?
If you give me a chance to talk, sweetheart, I'll explain this to you. But it's a biblical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It doesn't have anything to do with
Break it down, brother. It's biblical. Break it down.
People. I love people. Jesus loves people.
Yo, this dude is messing up. Where's his people
get
at?
Pushed in alcohol. Do you think that's a good place for a preacher to be and prepare to go preach to a lot of people? When somebody in there is dragging some woman down an aisle, it made me so mad to see that on television. I wanted to punch the guy out myself. I can't be doing that while I'm getting ready to preach.
Talking about nothing.
So you just don't like to be around the sinful people or the hurtful people. Is that what you're saying?
I had to cut a lot out.
Yo, he's bugging.
He's not the
man
people.
Is bugging.
He's not the brother doesn't want to fly commercial because of the demon.
Did you see his eyes bug out of his head?
When he said, "Don't you tell me that." Don't you tell.
When he tried, don't you ever say that again. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? You have lost your mind.
So you got issues with a preacher flying private?
Yo, this dude has always looked shady every time I see him on television. They occupy a whole channel during certain times of the day. I just turn from this mess. This is just the dumbest thing. Like, you can't. First of all, there's so many levels wrong here. Okay. Just from a communication standpoint, where is his staff? Where is his people? Who is supposed to be there to say, hey, we're shutting off this interview? Where's security? Why were they allowed back there? Like, you just look like an idiot. There are times in life where God allowed things to happen to make you look like an idiot and bring everything that's being done in the dark to the light. And so I hope something happens behind this, because you look like an absolute idiot right now. And I love her. I love the fact she was not backing down. She was not scared at all, and she just kept asking the same question over and over again.
Yeah,
this is her. Exactly. This is her version of Gayle King and R. Kelly. Robert.
So later in the video, they do show his people come up and like, oh, we gotta go. But that was 11 minutes in.
Who let it go that long? Like, what is wrong? Yo, somebody. If I'm him, somebody should be fired. I think the people that pay for stuff like this are just as dumb as the people that pay to have the medium come talk to them. Like, that's all I know.
But hey, the brother feels like in order to do his ministry, he needs a private jet that he bought from Tyler Perry.
Yo, why you gotta put Tyler up there? Tyler ain't had nothing to do with this.
She said it.
Tyler let that man buy his used jet.
And if you watch the full video, apparently Tyler gave him a really good deal. I don't know. I don't buy private jets. I'm not in the market for one, but apparently Tyler gave him a good deal.
Man, this dude, he looks nuts.
Tyler gave him a good deal.
That man out here manifesting demons. Like, this is ridiculous. And okay, see, this is what happens when people who shouldn't be lead churches. I'm just be quiet.
Well, he said how many millions of people came to Christ? There you go. See, there's the people right there. You can see his people right there.
And they just letting it happen like dummies. Yeah. Like, come on, sir. Sir, we should go. Sir, we should go. You either cover up the camera, you do something. Like, come on, we gotta be. But guess what that was? It was hubris on his part. He was cocky enough to think that he was going to be able to stand in there and answer her questions and make it look good. And he wasn't good at it because there's no justifiable reasons for what he's saying. I'm good.
I got no problem. Honestly, I got no problem with preachers being rich. I got no problem with having private jets, buying your wife convertible Corvettes, or all this stuff. I got no problem with that. Just don't cry about the church being poor. So as long as your church is fine, then do what you want with your money. If you anybody who runs any organization that brings in multiple millions of dollars, you have the right to, as a leader of the organization, collect a acceptable salary, and you do that, and you be rich, brother. In the extended video, he talks about how he gets his money. He says something about there's natural gas on his property that he makes money from. Okay. And the reporter also mentions that he sells books and other stuff. So,
and I'm not even mad about that. I'm sure he has businesses. TD has businesses that fund most of his lifestyle. He doesn't even catch a check from the church. And so that's fine. But the basic question of what do you calling people demons or fly, like don't say everybody's a demon, so that's why I can't fly commercial.
Yeah, his rationale is crazy. But basically he's saying that people pull him out of his spirit. See, he out here trying to live right. But the people on the airplane just be messing with his spirit.
Oh, hashtag trying to live right. And missionary banks did that to you, and I just think it's an unfair attack upon you.
Exactly.
Bro.
The enemy, he comes in so many forms. He tries to steal your Jesus right out of you.
It comes in the form of 45-year-old thickums. I guess that's what it was.